Recording on. Yeah, so for that reason, it is called Poson. Poson full moon day. We, and when the Arahant Minder came to Sri Lanka, he was actually checking on the king. The king was called Tissa. His name was Tissa. But Ashoka and Emperor Ashoka and Tissa had actually very close connections even before Mahinda was. I mean, Mahinda was the son of Ashoka, and then he also decided to send his daughter. Do you remember her name? Mahinda and Sangamita. Sangamita, both of them, I mean, they were ordained monk and nun. So, and that is how the Pali tradition was really preserved. Yeah, so for that reason, I mean, 2000 years of kind of recorded history is being celebrated today. And Mihintale was the place where Arahant Mahinda came along with five other monks, Itya, Uttiya, Sambala, Bhaddasala, and Sumana. And then there was another supporter. What's his name? Banduka. Was it Banduka? Yeah. So yeah, it's a bit of a long history. So Bhanthe Dhammarathana is very busy celebrating the day, are you? So what are you doing today, Bhanthe?
I'm doing as well, chanting some special sutras.
Yeah.
And many blessings to morning.
Oh. Yeah, I mean,
today is a full moon Poson for a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So celebration of the Pali tradition, celebration of Mihintale, celebration of pretty much the history, isn't it? Yeah. And one of you was in it. Yeah, just want to know a little bit about Uposhata. Bhante, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Uposhata. I mean, do you recognize the Sanskrit word Uposhata? Uposhat?
Yeah, Uposata Ashtanga Sila.
Yeah.
There is a Sanskrit.
Yeah. Right? Yes. Now let's explain what it really means. I mean, Upa Vasati. Upavasati is actually, I mean, India. I mean, I think it was pretty much in the Asian, pre-Buddhist tradition had what they call, once a month on a full moon day.
Yeah.
Buddhist. I mean, no, not Buddhist. All religious people assign a particular day for living with the God, pretty much. Yeah. Upa Vasati means like live by. That's what the word really means. Live by the divine, live by the spirit, etc. So Uposatha was a tradition. But in the Buddhist tradition, it took a special turn because then the Buddhist tradition also carried it on. Kind of every full moon day is dedicated for spiritual life. I mean, it's a bank holiday. I mean, a lot of activities take place. So Sri Lanka has the most number of holidays. So if you ever think of going to work, probably a best place. Not right at the moment because they are going through a bit of tough time.
Too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Our country's national holiday, right? Today.
Yeah, it's every month. Full moon day is a holiday.
Holiday.
So the expectation is like people go to the monastery, observe precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts.
Yeah.
And then they actually do a lot of reflective practice, meditation. Yeah, it's a day of spiritual attainment. So yeah.
Many dansal.
Oh yeah, there are some generosities practice, a lot of free food everywhere. Free food. Yeah, it's called Dhanashala. Dhanashala, the concept of Dhanashala. I mean, it's not in the Sikh tradition. I mean, Sikh tradition is very good for, this generosity. They have what they call langa. Do you know that? Yeah. I think the Buddhist tradition also had this, free food, and also there are some designated places where people could go and eat free. Perhaps that's why they became a bit lazy, so they didn't want to, they had a lot of free stuff floating around. So anyway, Uposatha. So, Mikhail.
I just want to say that's interesting that today is also for Tibetan Buddhists called Sakadawa, which is like their most every year they celebrate the 3 major events of Buddha's life. And this year it actually comes on today. And I saw a post online that says like they have 300 million times good merit. Whatever you do today, it has this multiply. So it's nice that actually 2 of the holidays that actually this year only. I don't think that because it's also a full moon. So for them, on the 4th month of their calendar, on the full moon, and that's today. So yeah, that's
Oh, that's in the Tibetan calendar. Lola, are you celebrating that?
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. So yeah, I mean the Uposatha is a very vibrant tradition, and it continued even to the day in Asia. I mean, even I think in Thailand, all Theravada countries. I mean, they go on pilgrimage and do all kinds of things. So it's kind of a designated day of spirituality in the month. Okay, Bhante, so are you going to do a bit of blessing for us to start with?
Yeah, start with I recommend a very special sutta we call Mettanisansa.
Oh, okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, please. Yeah. No, we were supposed to read that last time. Perhaps we could read it after listening to you. Shall we? Yeah. Okay, over to you.
Okay. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Evang me sutang ekang samayang bhagama Savattiyang viharati jetavane Anata pindikas arame Tatra ko bhagava bhikkhu amang te si bhikkhavoti badante tite bhikkhu bhagavato paccasso sung bhagava etadmocha Mettaya bhikkave ceto vimuttiya asevitaya bhavitaya bahulikataya yani kataya vattu kataya anuttitaya paricitaya susamaradhaya ekadasani sansa patikanka katme ekadasa Sukhang supati sukhang pati bujjati na papakang supinang pasati manussanang piyohoti amanussanang piyohoti devatarakkanti Nas agima visangva sattangva kamati tuatang cittang samadhyati mukhavang no vipasidati asamholho kalang karoti uttaring appate vijjanto brahmalokopagoti mettaya bhikkave ceto vimuttiya asevitaya bhavitaya bahulikataya yani kataya vattu kataya anuttitaya paricitaya susamaradhaya ime ekadasani sansa patikankhati idamavoca bhagava atmanate bhikkhu bhagavato bhasitang abhinandunti etena saccamajjena dukkhaṅupasamintu te etena saccamajjena bhayaṅupasamintu te etena saccamajjena roga upasamintu te. Blessings with metta.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Wonderful. Yeah. So excellent. So brilliant. And thank you so much, Bhante. So perhaps now let's really have a look at the meaning. Now, I think most of you understood the Pali Sutta already, didn't you?
Of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so let's.
If me Sutang, that was the start, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So, so let's actually have. Sorry. Let me see where
The online document.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the. Yeah, I mean, you know now, if any of you want to go and find a sutta, I would recommend going to, Chatta Sangayana. Yeah. Okay. You just go, you can go Google it, Chatta Sangayana. I'm just trying to, yeah, Chatta. Chatta is the Burmese version of Chatta Sangayana. Okay. So let's actually have a look at the sutta. I mean, do you know how to? I mean, I think all of you could just simply go Google it. Yeah. Hold on. Just Chatta Sangayana is the Burmese Sangayana that was done, and they have a really good collection, and it is available in many different scripts as well. So if you just I mean, all of these sutras could be found in Chatta Sangayana. So Metta Sutta, or Metta Nisansa, that's the one we are after. Let me see, I think I have, did I get, this is Vipala's. So we've read quite a number of suttas, didn't we? Mula Pariyaya. And we have a list of about nearly 10, 15 already done. We did Dona Sutta, we did Sabbasava Sutta. Last we did Karaniya Sutta, and then Silavanta Sutta. We didn't do Silavanta. Mitta, yes, let's have a look. Oh, Metta Sutta.
Mettanis also.
Okay. Now this is what Bhante chanted just now. It is actually in the Pali, is called either Metta Sutta or Metta Nisansa. Metta or Metta Nisansa. Yeah. What is Anisansa? What's the meaning of the Pali word? Anisansa? Any guesses? Now that you have read a lot of Pali, you are
too deep into this. Are you looking at the same version as the web? Because I'm at about page 30 and I can't.
Okay. Oh, in the web. No. I'm actually looking at the
your
document.
Is that the same? Are you using a different version from the one that you've put on the web?
Oh, no. It's the same version. Same.
What page?
I think the one on the web is about 61 pages, and it hasn't got this sutta.
Yeah, I may not have got the can you see this one, Keith? I may not have got this copied into the web yet.
So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find it to run alongside. I can't see it, but
Yeah, Metta Sutta, it's in the, is it in the Khuddaka Nikaya, Manoj? That's where,
no, I mean, where is it in your script? That's what I mean. Not
yeah. My script is, this is actually,
Wait
this
for
is,
wait for a moment.
yeah, hold on. I mean, remember, I could even now share this document with all of you, can't I? Let's see. The Pali, I have another way to share this, but can you not see the screen here?
yeah. I was just trying to find it in your document.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll share it with you later. So basically, what he was chanting is, I mean, now this part we already know, Evam Me Sutta. Yeah, I mean, almost all the sutras, Ekan Samayam Bhagava Savatyang Viharati, Jetavane. Now, that part we already know. Tatrago, Bhikkhu Amandesi Bhikkhavoti, Badante Te Bhikkhu, Bhagavato Pachasosam, Bhagava Itadavocha. Now, this is a common, common paragraph to most sutras. Yeah, and then he says, Mettaya bhikkhave cheto vimuttiya. Mettaya bhikkhave cheto vimuttiya. Now, I want you to actually focus on. Now, metta, I mean, this is something that we all practice, don't we? Metta. But the Buddha actually uses the word cheto vimuttiya. Yeah. Now, Cheto Vimutti, Metta Cheto Vimutti is a unique practice to Buddhism. Metta Samadhi is practiced in many places. Samadhi. So Metta Samadhi is one type, but Metta Cheto Vimutti is a different type of practice. So the Buddha says, if you practice metta, practice is in a cheto vimutti form. Mettaya bhikkhave cheto vimuttiya asevitaya. Now he uses actually a couple of epithets. Asevitaya, bhavitaya, bahulikataya, yanikataya, vatthukataya, anuttitaya, Parichitaya, Susamaradhaya. So he says, I can assure you, if you practice the Metta Cheto Vimutti in this way, now Asevitaya, you are associating Metta. Bhavitaya, you are practicing it. Bahuli kata is make most of it, or do it over and over again. Yani kataya, yana means vehicle. You make metta a vehicle. So yani kataya. And vattu kataya means actually, Vatu is kind of a property. It becomes a property. It's like, metta is not just simply you are practicing something, but you reside in it. So Vatu kataya means you reside in it. Anuttitaya. Now then, you establish in it. Parichitaya is actually, now it is never separate. Susamaradhaya. Now you are one with it. Yeah. So Ekadasani Sansa. And can you hear me okay? My internet is playing up today. Can you hear me? Yeah, good. Okay. So Eka Dasani Sansa Patikanka. Now one should expect 11 results. Eka Dasa. Now you know Dasa is 10. Eka Dasa. Now Eka Dvi Tri Ti Chatu Pancha Chatta Satta Atta Nava Dasa. Ekadasa. Ekadasa is what?
11? Huh?
11. Yeah. So you should expect 11 results when you practice the metta in this shape, in this form. That is the Cheto Vimutti. Yeah. Now there's a Katame Ekadasa. Now here it says Atta. I don't know where this get Atta. Yeah. Ekadasa. Bhante, the sutta has Ekadasa, right?
Yeah, Ekadasa.
Yeah, why is it a Katame Atta? I don't know. It's a mistake. Yeah.
Yes.
Now let's count it. Sukhang,
mistake.
yeah. Sukhang Supati.
Sukham.
Yeah, when you really practice the metta in this form, what happens to you? The first one. What is the first one?
Yeah, you become happy.
You sleep well.
Oh,
You
the
sleep
same.
well.
That's just that's a good start to sleep well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you know, I think, I mean, sleeping well, that is not an easy thing to do, you know.
Are you sleeping very well yesterday?
Yeah, if you want to know a little bit more about wake up to sleep, have you seen this book? My friend wrote Charlie Morley. Yeah. I was so happy, and I wrote a foreword for it as well. So, you know, sleeping well is not an easy thing to do. I mean, a lot of people have this, what they call insomnia. Yeah. Or abnormal sleep syndrome. So, Sukhang Supati, if you practice metta, the Buddha guarantees you that you will be sleeping well. Sukhang Supati. Then Sukhang Supati, Sukhang Patibujjati. What do you think that is, that one? What is Sukhang Patibujjati?
Dreaming well or something.
No. Actually, wake up happy. Yeah, so, you know, sometimes you can sleep nice, but waking up is hard. You wake up kind of really fresh. Yeah, so Sukham Patibujjati. Na papakang supinang passati. The third one is you don't see bad dreams. Papaka. Papa is sinful, very bad. You know, somebody comes, attack you, this and that, violent dreams. Yeah. So na papakang supinang passati. Na means not. No bad dreams. So manusanam piyo hoti. Sorry? Manusanam piyo hoti. You become what? Yeah, make a guess.
Mindful?
No. Manusanang piyo. Piyo means pleasant. Pleasant for the manusa. Manusa is human being. You know, you become a pleasant human being. You are pleasant amongst human beings. Yeah? Manusanam piyo hodi. Not just manusana, amanusanang too. What is amanusa?
Not a human being.
Yeah, not human, exactly. Not human. Even other spirit beings, like, you know, I don't know, non-humans. You know, even dogs, you know, animals, sometimes, you can see some animals actually respond to some people better than others. Yeah. Amanusanang piyo hoti. So amanusa includes animals, spirit beings, demigods, whatever. Yeah. So amanusanang piyo hoti. Devata rakhanti. Aha.
Deities.
What does that mean?
Devas, like the
Yeah. Devas. What is rakhanti?
Protected. I'm using Manoj crib sheet. I know the answers.
Oh, don't cheat, Keith. Rakhati. Rakhati is protect. Devata rakhanti. Na as aggi va visang va sattang va kamati. Now that's actually this also, yeah. Aggi, what is aggi? Fire.
I think like fire.
Yeah. Yeah, you are protected from fire. That doesn't mean you can walk on the fire, okay? Don't try that. Yeah, I mean, but you will be unharmed by the fire. Visangva, or you will, you will not be poisoned or affected by poison. And Visa also includes here the viruses as well. Yeah. COVID.
COVID proof.
Sorry?
We will
Sorry?
be COVID proof.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is like a passport. Yeah, metta is a passport. Yeah, satangva. Satta means sharpener. Sharp things like weapons, etc. Yeah, satangva kamati. You are protected by fire, poison, sharp things. And uttering appa. Now, this is the most important part. Uttering appati vijanto. Over and beyond Brahma lokupago hoti. Yeah. So you will be born in the Brahma realms. Wow. Now, I mean, you really don't have to be born in the Brahma realms. You are living like a Brahma in human flesh when you practice metta, because, you are protected. Yeah. Mettaya bhikkhave cheto vimuttiya. Then the Buddha actually repeats the same thing. Asevitaya, bhavitaya, bahulikataya, yanikataya, vattukataya, anuttita. Now, these words are so important. Now, a lot of people think, oh, may all beings be well and happy. So I'm practicing metta. Yeah, that's not so. Real metta, it's actually, and this is why these words are so important. Asevitaya, associate with it. Bhavitaya, practice it. Bahulikataya, make much of it. Yanikataya, make a vehicle of it. Vattukataya, you reside in it. Anuttitaya, you are one with it. Yeah. And parichitaya, now you are inseparable from it. Yeah. So eka ime ime ekadasani sansa patika. Yeah. So then there is this stanza which says yocha mettam bhavayati appang appamanang patisatu. Whosoever practice the metta, appamanang, unlimited. It's a very special word, appamana. Now this is called, Brahma Vihara is called unlimited. What is it? Illimitable. So there's no limitation. Like, you just don't practice metta with only your friends. Yeah. Patisato, and you practice with full, mindfulness established. Pati Sato, Sati. Sati is the word here, yeah? Establish mindfulness, yeah? Tanu Sangyojana Honti. All the Sangyojanas become thin. Tanu. Nice word. Tanu. Tanu Sangyojana Honti Passato Upadikayam. And, Upadikayam, all your attachment is, actually they diminish. Yeah, Ekam Piche Pan Madutta Chitto Metayati Kusalithena Hoti Sabbecha Pana Manasanukampi. No, these are kind of, different, results. And also the nature, when you establish the metta at that level, these are the kind of hallmarks, characteristics, yeah. So and that is the difference between metta cheto vimutti. Cheto vimutti. Yeah, and this is actually very different from metta samadhi. Yeah, so pre-Buddhist times, there's love thy neighbor, have compassion towards others, and that is all the samadhi stuff. But this is actually liberating. Metta cheto vimutti means liberating the mind. And this is a tactic. This is a strategy. This strategy actually relieve your mind of defilements. That's why it is called cheto vimutti. So now see the level where the Buddha took it to. It is actually million miles apart from samadhi. This is not the same thing. Yeah.
So, Sunil, does it suggest that Chetu Vimutti of how you call it, Metta Chetu Vimutti could take you all the way to liberation?
Completely, yeah. Now this is exactly, the Buddha says this is another route. Because when you practice, and I mean, this is Brahma Lokupago, you become actually anagami. Now remember, even the Karaniya Sutta, last sutta says if you practice metta in this form, your final destination will be the formless realm, right? So, and that's a formless realm, the Shuddhavasa, where you will not be returning. It's kind of a non-returner. Yeah. But that is the Cheto Vimutti, power of Cheto Vimutti, but not Samadhi.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so what you're saying, is not able to take you the whole way to arahantship, the Chetu Vimutti.
No, I mean, no, it is one short of, because I think the no, Cheto Vimutti is fine, but what it doesn't give you is the full final liberation. But because see, when you are practicing metta, you still have an object in mind. Yeah. And then therefore there is a limitation to that. Yeah, not full arahantship, no. Yeah.
I think there are different opinions about that, but anyway, let's not sort of go into that.
Sure, yeah. No, I mean that is, yeah, definitely, yeah. So what do you think? I mean, I think the way Karaniya Sutta, where I read it, is because it envisage an object. Metta has to be practiced through objectifying. An object is being, isn't it? So the arahanthood has no object. I mean,
yeah, but
I don't know. Yeah,
well, let's not go into that. I mean, because
sure.
at the end of the Karaniya Sutta, it is said that when you got rid of all views, and it's in a way, well, maybe you could read it that because you have practiced this metta and because your mind is sort of limitless, you lose your views, and so you get rid of your views, and then you won't be reborn again. So, yeah.
You're right. I mean, the last verse of the Karaniya Sutta says, Dittincha anupagamma silava. I mean, you know, you are, you know, yeah, I mean, as long as you have got rid of all the views, now there, you know, the metta, the practice of metta still can involve a sort of a view. And that's why Brahma Lokupago Hoti. The sutta ends in the Brahma Loka. So again, it is in the samsara.
Yeah, but of course you could say that he's talking about the results of practicing metta, that what you said, that you reside in metta, that your mind is limitless, and so that is in a way beyond the practicing of it, but that you're anyway, that's we first try to get there, and then we can
sure, absolutely. Anyway, folks, you know how to practice metta now. Now I think this is so important because people tend to mix this metta samadhi with metta ceto vimutti. You know, establish, I mean, you know, Christianity, actually, it is, everything is about love, isn't it? So lot of faith traditions have this love, metta, at its heart. But the Buddha twisted it, you know, turn it into something like, you know, how do you use that to liberate yourself? And that's where the you know, real uniqueness or prerogative, isn't it? Yeah, but anyway, I mean, that is, you know, I think we should investigate that further. Yeah, you know,
and
practice it in the first place, I think.
Yeah, no, those words are so important. Like, you know, I mean, asevitaya, bhavitaya, yanikataya, vattukataya, anuttitaya. I mean, those are really profound words. You know, because see, a lot of people have, you know, and the other thing is, you know, like generosity. You know the difference between the Buddhist generosity and I shouldn't say non-Buddhist generosity. I mean, generosity is generosity, isn't it? But do you recognize a subtle difference?
Well, I think the ideal of Buddhist generosity is that you're not even aware that you're generous, so that you sort of you're just expressing your being in a way. Yeah. So it's beyond practicing at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I mean, most people practice generosity looking at the receiver. And this is the subtle difference between, like, see, I mean, you know, who is that practice for? I mean, mostly the practice of generosity is for the receiver, isn't it? You know, but it's rarely to the, you know, now say, oh, you know, I'm giving something to somebody, a beggar. Oh, what is he going to do with that? Isn't it? So that is my concern. Yeah, I mean, you practice generosity with condition attached, strings attached, isn't it? So, and the Buddha actually turns it around. And you know, 99% of the time when we practice generosity, we practice it with an kind of with a feeling of empathy. Do we not?
Yes, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we are at least thinking of, oh, you know, how this my practice is going to impact on the other party. Do we not think about that?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Here is the glitch, you know. What's wrong with that?
Well, but at the end, you could say that there is no other being in the first place, and that we are not a being. But I mean, you have to start somewhere, isn't it? We are not that far, so our practicing of generosity is sort of falls short of the ideal, but we hope at some point to get there.
Yeah, and this is the most important part. I mean, I think if you read the sutta called Dakkhina Vibhanga, let me write it down for you. You know, Dakkhina Vibhanga. You know, Dakkhina Vibhanga. You know, there the Buddha actually talks about the generosity a lot. And he says, you know, a lot of people practice generosity, but with the wrong intention. Yeah. And then he actually put the mind in the right place. And I think this is so important. I mean, he showed it with an example. His own stepmother. What's the name of his stepmother?
What's her name again?
Mahamaya? No.
Mahamaya, very good.
That wasn't his real. No, that was his real.
Yeah.
His real mother.
Yeah,
No,
Maya, kind of illusion, or Mahamaya. So Mahamaya, she actually made a robe for the Buddha, and he brought it to the Buddha and offered it to the Buddha. And the Buddha says, don't offer me personally, Maya, offer it to this community, Sangha. And the Maya said, Venerable Sir, I made this, handmade this just for you, because you are so special. You are my son. Please accept it. And the Buddha says, Maya, offer this to the Sangha, the community. And the third time, and Ananda just comes to Maya's rescue and says, Ananda says, Venerable Sir, do you recognize the Maya, the effort that the Maya has made? She has been doing this and that and the other for you. Please accept it. And the Buddha refused to accept it and say, offer this to the Sangha. When you offer it to the Sangha, I am also a recipient. Yeah. So what does that mean? So why didn't the Buddha actually accept it personally? And even now even today, if we offer something to a member of the Sangha,
because
we generate
not separate, they are treated together in like
exactly. So there is no individuals focus. You are actually, because see, then the focus completely changes, doesn't it? So rather than looking at the receiver, you are looking at yourself. And what you actually, establish in your mind is this community. And it is not giving with an empathy, it's giving with something else. What is it? A feeling of
compassion, or
compassion, and as well as, even compassion can be misunderstood, misconstrued. You become compassionate because, empathy, compassion is kind of similar, isn't it? Yeah. But respect, don't forget this, respect. Can you give something with utmost respect to the receiver? Yeah, it's not easy. So the Buddha says, practicing generosity is like waging a war. It's difficult. It is hard because, can I offer something to somebody with utmost respect? There you really need spiritual quality. So, this is, really nicely discussed in the Dakkhina Vibhanga Sutta. If you, want to read more. Anyway, folks, any question, Mikhail?
I made a presentation.
Oh, yeah, I saw you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so what we will do is after the break, the presentations will go ahead. Yeah. So, okay, Mikhail.
So
one thing, sorry, Mikhail, yeah, please.
But I can wait. Well, it's not that.
No, you're first. Come on.
You're first.
Okay, so what I meant, or what I want to say is, in response to our this discussion about metta, I thought that we have in a sense, the metta as and then there's also the wisdom aspect. And so with metta, I think it's easy to think about some benefit for ourselves or for others, because we start to care. If we think, I want the best for my family, or I want the best for my sangha, and so on, then we kind of have a target, in a sense, an object. And so we have to balance that with the selflessness and wisdom. And in a sense, so it's kind of, in a sense, they have to be in balance, because, so we cannot leave the metta behind too, because it's really important that we have that, that we wish to benefit other beings, but at the same time, we cannot be attached to that too much, because then we just think about, some people think, especially in Christianity, really common. From the background that I come from, that our grandparents, they have this kind of specific way of caring, but at the same time, it's really full of attachment, in a sense. So they have a good intention, but at the same time, it's loaded with emotions and attachment. With what?
Like pity?
Yeah, also pity, and so that's, you have to balance that with the selflessness.
I think real metta is beyond that. If you the characteristics of enlightenment are compassion and wisdom, but in a way they are, I think, inseparable. So I think the metta, the ultimate metta, is without the sort of self-reference and without so what we could call total altruistic.
Now what Michael says is, it is the metta has to be accompanied by wisdom, and these are kind of two pillars, but so inseparably connected, isn't it? Yeah, sort of. Okay. Any more, Manoj?
So that's just, I wanted to clarify, actually, the last week also we promised to Keith that I send the Metta Sutta link, but I don't know, Dr. Sunil, did you send that it is Anguttara Nikaya, Attaka Nipata and Metta Vagga, But as you said that the Chatta Sanghayana, it is too difficult. It takes some time to find the exact sutta. That's why I'm struggling through during the lecture, Keith.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be able to find. Did you send, sir, to?
Oh, no. I haven't sent it to anybody now. No,
there are a couple of
was,
Metta Suttas here. It's interesting, in addition to Karaniya Metta and Metta Sutta that which we now discuss. But today I confirm, I exactly promise I will send it.
You are forgiven.
It's difficult. You know that it is how difficult these things.
What are you talking about?
Labyrinth. Theravada Buddhism is a labyrinth.
Yeah, I know how difficult it is to find something in the Pali Canon when you don't have any Pali.
Yeah, actually, some of these suttas are found in more than one place. You know,
Sinhala Sutta is, Sinhala and Pali version is there already, but I am finding through the English versions.
Yeah, who is this Sanghabodhi? Let's see who that is. Sanghabodhi Pirivan. Someone is just invading us or what?
I think I saw this name at first.
Oh, before.
Like monks were there.
Yeah, definitely one of the monks. Yeah.
We've been bombed by a monk.
Yeah, sorry?
We've been bombed by a monk.
I know. Yeah, bombarded by monks.
Monks are so dangerous.
Yeah. So, but anyway, folks, and I think, so we finished Metta Sutta. After the break, we will do the presentations. So any further questions on any of the, Atamitra?
Well, you mentioned the generosity to give with respect. Could you say a bit more about what you mean with this?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, again, now see, when you practice these qualities, Atamitra, what happens is, I mean, we usually have in the lokiya realms, in the worldly realms, we look at the practical aspects, like, if I practice generosity, if I practice metta, I just say, okay, let's say metta, for example. I mean, it's so easier said than done. You are supposed to practice metta, and there should be a target group, and you practice your metta towards your near and dear ones. And then you keep expanding it to your neighbor. Now, at the moment, I have got a really horrible neighbor. I'm not going to name the person. Really lovely person, but a horrible neighbor. So, and what am I supposed to do? How should I, am I supposed to practice metta towards this person? And
yes.
Yes, yes, you say yes. Yeah. So and it's kind of difficult, and the Buddha gives a strategy, offers a strategy. He says, start with your near and dear ones, and then expand it little by little, and your friends, whoever, and then you are kind of, your mind is malleable and set and ready to expand it. Yeah. And that's good strategy. But now this is a big but. Still there may be hindrances, the defilements deep down, and be mindful of those as well. So that's why he says, you should be ready to liberate the mind. The practice is just to liberate cheto vimutti, rather than cheto samadhi. because most of the practices were geared towards Cheto Samadhi. Cheto Vimutti is that liberative aspect. Yeah.
And that is something, I mean, I agree with you, that is something that you sort of, well, it's not in your power to generate that metta. It's you can sort of work on the conditions, and then at the end it's a sort of grace that sort of comes over you, and which you dive into this metta experience. So
yeah, no, I agree with you. Now it is sort of a process which actually, kicks in by itself. And that is why those 6 epithets were used by the Buddha, asevitaya, bhavita. I mean, he says, just reside in it and make a vehicle of it and make it inseparable. You're not just sort of wearing it as an overcoat. It is something that is, you are one with it. So and that level you have liberated your mind. Your mind has no limits, no so
but to come back on respect, is that what you mean also with respect, that you
and that's the place where actually the respect kicks in. The Buddha says, when you offer something to a monk, you never think of the benefits that he derives. I mean, you may be thinking of the benefit, but there is something higher, something more. I mean, you are valuing respect. I mean, in the ascetic tradition, when they receive something, they kept their hands above their eyes, and they received it and then ate it even without opening the eyes. And that's the trust that you place on somebody who offers something to you. Yeah. So and that really tells you something, your ascetic kind of tradition, because you sustain and the connection between the two, the giver and the receiver. Yeah. So, and the respect, there's a huge respect established in it, in that process. And I think I wish we had a time to read Dakkhina Vibhanga. Probably in our next class, maybe I can persuade you to come to the Pali second group. Yeah, we can read more sutras. And then I think Dakkhina Vibhanga and all of these Vibhanga sutras, the last volume of the Majjhima Nikaya, are really, really profound, because it actually gets you into the very subtle points, where we kind of, where the shift of spiritual attainment takes place. Yeah. Okay, folks, any more questions before we take a short break? No? Okay, Bhante ji, are you giving us some refreshments on the full moon day?
Some special book writing with Bhanthe Alupotha.
Oh, what's the title? What's the title of the book?
Ashtottara Shata Jayamangala Gatha.
Wow. So can we save it for the last session today? Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent.
One Gatha, I need to blessing one Gatha, one part of one.
You want to do it now? Okay.
රාහස්ස කම්ම විරතෝ මහාමාය පුත්තෝ පුත්තේව රක්ඛයි ජනේච යතේව මාතා මාතාව චිත්තේ අභිවුද්ධි පජාය පාපං තං තේජසා භවතු තේ ජය මංගලානි.
Fantastic. Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
I felt that I am going to be married, because when people married according to Sinhala culture, on behalf of other people, information, that's why I'm telling this, that this such kind of a mellifluous rhythmic recitation is there in Sri Lankan culture. It's cultural
Yeah.
connotation.
We have to save the rest for Manoj's wedding. Yeah, Bhante?
No, Keith or Arthamitra or the Reverend.
By the way, Keith is doing a lot of weddings these days. Yeah, are you not, Keith?
If you require a Zen wedding, I can oblige.
Yeah, no, there's actually very lovely blessing chanting in the weddings. Yeah. So we'll take a short break and come back in 10 minutes, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hello, folks. Welcome back. Sumedha is here after a long time. Hello, Sumedha. Can you hear us?
Hello. Yeah, hello, sir.
How are you?
Fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Sumedha is hoping to join us at the PhD program in Fu. Yeah. So how is life up there?
Yeah, it's very difficult to depend, as you know.
Yeah, a lot of queues and petrol queues. Yeah. Yeah, those are all impermanent. Okay.
So where are you living, Sumedha?
Living in Kandy, central province of Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, welcome back. I know some of you want to do presentations today. What I will do is I will give you the co-host. Who wants to go first?
Me.
Okay, Julia.
Because I will fall asleep later.
You will, yeah.
And I will be unable to read.
Don't worry, we will chant and wake you up, okay? So I'll make you the host so you can share whatever, okay?
I have unstable connection, but when I stopped my video, I could. Oh, no. And how to do it? Like how to share my screen?
Oh, you just go to share. Yeah. And when you say share screen. Yeah.
Oh.
Share screen, and then you select. Yeah, there you are. Very good. Chula malum ki sutta. Wow.
I hope it's gonna be fine because I don't know, I have unstable connection. Yeah, but you see everything.
Yeah.
So I will present not the shortest passage, but I thought everything has to be included. So it's like 3 stanzas of Chula Malunkyaputta.
Yeah. Chula. Chula. It's called Chula Malunke. Yeah. Chula means, Chula is lesser. Yeah. Chula, Maha is the opposite of Maha. Maha Malunke and Chula Malunke. Yes.
So I will read this in Pali and you can know the Bhikkhu Bodhi's translation to know what I'm reading.
Yeah.
Tasa matiha malunkya puta abya katancha me abya katato dareta byakantancha me byakatato dareta kincha malunkya puta maya abyakatang sa sato lokiti malunkya puta maya abyakatang asato lokoti maya abyakatang antava lokoti maya abyakatang anantava lokoti maya abyakatang tang jivang tang sariranti maya abyakatang anyang jivang anyang sariranti maya abyakatang hoti tathagato param marananti maya abyakatang na hoti tathagato param marananti maya abyakatang hoti cha na chahoti tathagato param marananti maya abyakatang neva hoti na hoti tathagato param marananti maya abyakatang. Okay, so now some insights from it. So the wrongly stated questions. So Malunkya Buddha is a monk that is unawakened yet, and he wants the Buddha to answer and declare those statements that I read, and only then he will follow him. So the Buddha does not answer Malunkya Buddha's questions regarding the 10 undeclared theses for two reasons. So they are not connected with the spiritual path and the goal. Such speculation distracts us from our spiritual development and liberation. And the second is that these theses are by their nature unanswerable, because the questions are wrongly put. And to answer either yes or no to any of such questions is to accept them as valid when they are not. So, and the Buddha's knowledge can be seen that he decides not to answer these questions, but it does not mean that he doesn't know the answer to them, even if they make sense. It's on the contrary, because his knowledge is direct and vast. Thus one might say that he fully understands what is going on after experiencing life hands-on, so like practically living it. That is, he has both knowledge and vision, jnana and dasana. And here I divided everything. So the most important statements. So like, do you see my mouse? So about the world, the soul, but I think also it can refer to the self. But Jivang is soul. And Tathagata, I will talk soon about Tathagata. So Sasato means eternal, and Loko is world. And yeah, so if we have A before, then it's not eternal, world, finite world, and infinite world. And then the soul is the same as the body. And the tam, it's like a pronouns, so it probably means like the soul, like the body. And anyang means other, so like they're separate. So other soul and other body. And then this hoti means exists. So exists Tathagata after death. Here is does not exist Tathagata after death. And here is that he both exists and does not exist after death. And here it's neither. So like we can see how it's the na, where it's placed also in the sentence. And the 10 unexplained or undeclared speculative views are set aside by the Buddha, as the concepts used to form the questions are not applicable to the nature of reality, and such metaphysical speculations are inconducive to the cessation of suffering. So in the Chula Malunkyaputta Sutta, Tathagata has this means like a sentient being. This is what it refers to. Tathagata literally means thus gone one who has gone that way, or one who has gone to such a state. However, after Buddha passed, it's also used to refer to him, to the Buddha or Buddhas. So in some contexts, they clearly refer to the Buddha, but in others, the Buddha would use Tathagata reflexively, that is when referring to himself, or I think this is in case of Mahayana, like generically to the Buddhas. So we, as we know, we learned about 2 levels of language, Lokiya and Lokotara. And I also will read 2 more stanzas that you will see. So when the Buddha is addressing worldly situation or matters, he uses aham, so like I, and its related forms, so like at the end of the word, the ending. And but when he's speaking about the Lokutara things, he uses Tathagata or Tathagato. And for the Buddha, neither of the 4 alternatives, so like this 4-fold logic, true, false, both true, and false, neither true nor false, is applicable to speculative metaphysical problems, such as those about the existence of the world, soul, and Tathagata. And also similar, like in the sutta we discussed the Kachanagata Sutta, where were the 10 also views. We talked about that all the metaphysical views are formed on the basis of the duality of existence and non-existence, but neither of these are applicable to the nature of reality. And existence and non-existence are merely inapplicable concepts, thus it is impossible to discuss the state of Tathagata regardless if he's alive or dead, regardless of his state. So next one is Kasma Chetang Malunkyaputta Maya Abhyakatang Na Hetang Malunkyaputta Athasam Hitam Na Adibrahmacharyakam Na Nibidaya Na Viragaya Na Nirodaya Na Upasamaya Na Abhinyaya Na Sambodhaya Na Nibbanaya Samvatati Tasma Tang Maya Abhyakatang. So very important words in this sutta are declared and undeclared. So I already mentioned the wrongly stated questions. So the word Vyakaroti means to explain, answer if it's in the combination with the word asked, Buddha, declare and determine. But although the verb declare has the same sense of both like determine the idea and declare, make known, in the sutta, in line with Buddha's teaching, we should translate it as declare, since the terms used to form the questions are not applicable to the reality and not to fall into the traps of determinism. And next one is the last one. Kincha Malunkya Buddha Maya Vyakatang Idang Dukhanti Malunkya Buddha Maya Vyakatang Ayang Dukhasamudayoti Maya Vyakatang Ayang Dukha Nirodati Maya Vyakatang Ayang Dukha Nirodogamini Patipadati Maya Vyakatang. So what he declares are the teachings, because the Buddha points out that no matter what view someone holds on these metaphysical topics, there is no deliverance from sorrow, lamentation, pain, despair, and distress. Do you see me moving the the Zoom people? Or no? Okay. Also, I want to talk about other insights from this sutta. Maybe I will put it like that. Because this is the ending I chose. I thought it's the most relevant, but it starts that Malunkya Buddha comes to the Buddha and tells him that only if Buddha will declare those statements, he will follow him. So Buddha said that if someone needs a doctor because he's hurt, the same situation would be if he would ask that, he would say that he will not allow the doctor to treat him if the doctor will not know all the details about the accident that happened to him. And it's not important because he can be treated without it, right? So this sutta not only illustrates the pragmatism of early Buddhism, but it also is reminding us not to be caught up with speculative thoughts and neglect the real issues of our lives. And there is also another equally important meaning of the parable as a teacher. So concerning the nature of the Buddha as our teacher. So if the Buddha is our doctor, then the Dharma is our medicine and the Sangha are our nurses. And there is the Triratna. And also, just as the doctor heals physical ills of the body, the Buddha heals the broader ills encompassed by the term suffering, dukkha. And the implication of this medical analogy is that the Buddha's teaching, the Dhamma, should be regarded as kind of practical or craft knowledge similar to medicine. And yeah, I decided to choose this sutta because before I was very much interested in Buddhism, I was interested in like spirituality and New Age and everything they were saying about the soul, and that we have these old souls and that they're very personal and they have this journey. And then I didn't know what to think about it because I would really want to have a soul, and you know, and so I was very lost about it, but it's not important to think about it. We can be on the path to end our suffering without it. And so let's not caught up in questions like that. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.
No, thank you for that. Yeah. Any questions to Julia?
I'd just like to say that I find it very impressive what you've done. I really enjoyed and very clearly sort of all those, I mean, it looks very good as well, which helps to understand what you're saying.
Thank you.
Very good, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I give you A++++.
Yeah.
That's great. Any more feedback?
Very
what
good.
do others think? Yeah.
Excellent. The way how you carefully handle with the suttas and how you carefully try to scrutinize the thing is absolutely appreciated and absolutely fascinating. I really enjoyed through your presentation and the way how you carefully present.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate your words.
Also, yeah,
Oh, sorry.
No, I just want to say that, yeah, obviously we talked about it before, but yeah, I already hijacked this sutta into my thesis. I mean, parts of it because obviously Julia found it, and yeah, she told me about it, and I was like, yeah, that's a great sutta, and then yeah, the way she picked the important passages, and obviously the visual aspect. If anyone were to make my presentation visual, then I would just always go to Julia, and she's going to make sure it really looks yeah, really aesthetically nice.
Yeah, even made like this, so you can show it what we did for like an advertisement, because some teachers like Hank Blazer, they use the presentations of students to advertise themselves. The course.
Yeah. But don't let Michael hijack your work, okay? Just charge him if you want to, or anything. Okay, so any other last thoughts?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Julia. It was great to hear you, also in Pali. And I was wondering, I thought you talked about Bhikkhu Bodhi. All the information from Bhikkhu Bodhi, or did you also?
No, this is only the translation is from him. Yeah, it's only translation. I found free Bhikkhu something Sugat. I don't know, something like that. And
Sujato. Is it Sujato?
Yes,
yeah.
Sujato, and
the one who is doing Sutta Central, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But and also one Warner, I don't know, some British person, but Bhikkhu Bodhis was the best, I think. The other one was really similar, but the person that was not a monk, it was translated completely like in Hinduism about like Brahman and like all the concepts. It seemed like a different sutta, so I thought I can't use it, but I was comparing all the translations I could find.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Sumedha, what do you think?
It's thank you very much for selecting this kind of sutta, Julia, for your presentation, first of all. So, and it's amazing that your thoughts, considering this special teaching of the Buddha, so you how you analyze the Buddha's thoughts. I think that you have gleaned some very specific points that you want to share with us. Thank you very much for that. And I want to pay your attention regarding some diacritical marks and some pronunciation, right? I saw that you pronounce N-A as na. That's not na, that's n. No, right? So na, several times you pronounce as N-A as na. That shorter A along with N, we pronounce as ne. And ayang, I think I saw that type with M dot above, but we use M dot below. Ayang, yeah, the sound ang, ayang, right. So this is what I want to tell you, and totally it is wonderful. Thank you very much once again selecting this kind of sutta as you are foreigner. Amazing. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you. Yeah, I found it was really hard to find it in Pali, and I found only one place on Sutta Central. I tried like many ways of finding it, and with pronunciation, I know a whole day I tried to read it like 1,000 times, and not to make sense and divide it like with the commas and question marks. But yeah, I think I did fine for me.
Yeah, but actually the half nasal. So some used to actually use this dot under and dot over, and I think the older version is dot over, which is, I mean, I think there's sort of variation with some, but I think the most accepted is dot under, yeah. But I have seen some people use, I mean, even some text because it's a half nasal, like so yeah, excellent. So Lola, what do you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. I thought your pronunciation was really good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I really like the idea of the Buddha as a physician. I've heard something similar from André van der Braak. I don't know if you...
Yeah. I think I also think I heard it.
But yeah, I think it makes it really understandable for us, like easy to understand. And yeah, it looks really good as well.
Yeah, actually, there are some interpretations that of the Malunkyaputta, that he's like a contemporary Western philosopher that falls to the trap of free will and determinism. So that, yeah, they're contradicting. Like, if it's determined that then you don't have free will, and so not to so making just the speculative questions is not helping you with anything. You're just getting stuck in them.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now that's actually, I think everybody else has given you the marks, so I don't have to give marks now.
Thank you, Julia. Well done.
It's 1 out of 10, and I mean, not to 8. But...
No, I think the most, and I think you've done. I mean, you've selected a difficult sutta. Chula Malunkyaputta is a very philosophical sutta, but you unpack it really well. You went to the heart of the issue, and I agree. And I think even some of those translations do not get into like things like lokiya lokuttara, and I think how you unpack those was exceptional. So overall, yeah, I will agree with Keith. A plus 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 what? How many pluses, Keith?
5.
8 plus plus plus.
Many as you like.
Any number you like. Yeah, I think the amazing, and I think you just went to the depth. Now, something that we really need to realize after this Pali course is it is not easy to read the sutta because, as you pointed out, some of these translations are kind of very theistic, some theistic translations, and you have kind of gone beyond them, because now early translations like Rhys Davids, I mean, because they even use the word soul and all of this, and I think now we seem to get better and better translations. Even Bhikkhu Bodhi's, I think, is a little bit, and I think it can be refined. With all due respect to his amazing, I think he's a marathon translator, but we still can improve some of these translations. And I think what you have done is kind of dwell into the depth of the meaning and showed it really amazingly well. Well done.
So some people translated Tathagata as Lord.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Lord. Yeah. And I think that this Loki and Lokuttara, because I think it is, it also expands into other sutras where that Tathagata is being used as a kind of a prototype. Yeah, so you seem to have encompassed and the whole meaning.
I think
Which is,
Malunkyaputta is Lokiya and Buddha is Lokuttara.
Yeah. And what is also fascinating is now, when the Buddha says this is not conducive for atta, and now see attaya, hitaya, and nibbanaya, sambodhaya. Now you see those words, and he has encompassed both sides. One is Lokiya side, Adi Brahmacharya is the Lokiya side, and then the Lokuttara side. And I think you seem to have captured both, which is rare and rarely focused. So the Buddha says this is not this side of Avyakata, kind of dwelling into this Avyakata is neither useful for the Lokiya and no Lokuttara, and that series of words he uses is incredible, and that encompasses the entire this distinction between the two. Anyway, thank you very much, and that is beautiful presentation. I'm very proud of you, and I think this is this really shows how much we can really read into these sutras. Mostly the translations kind of go over the word meaning, but I think getting into the depth of it is difficult. Well done. Okay, so who's going next?
I was planning on doing it next week, if that is still okay.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. Yeah. I think Asamitra wanted to do.
I have prepared something, but not as far as deep going as Julia did. But I'd like to. Well, I did send you an attachment, Sunil.
Yeah. You did send me. Do you want to? Do you want if you know? Do you want me to share it for you, or do you want? Yeah. Okay. Julia, can I have my power back, please? Horsepower. Yeah. Yeah, just I think if you just say make so oh you are now I'm the host. Okay, thank you. So let me get to oh hold on, sorry. Just give me 1 second to get into my email, I think. Yeah, okay. Where are you? Okay.
In the meantime, Julia, can I ask you to share your presentation with us? Can you send?
Yes, I will. I will.
Yeah?
Hold on. Okay.
So I can tell what I'm going to do is this is a part of the Satipatthana Sutta.
Yeah.
The Buddha's, well, the sutta started with painting, how you say that, where the Buddha is, and then he starts to address the bhikkhus. And he is saying, well, what he's saying, then I'm going to chant, or try to chant.
Okay, hold on. I have trouble finding it.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. You sent it to me today, didn't you?
Yeah, I sent it as a response on you sending the link.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But that's coming from the Satipatthana. Yeah.
Julia?
Okay. Yeah. Is it in your email at all, Atamitra?
No, I sent it as an attachment.
Okay, you send it as an attachment. Okay. Okay, let me. The problem is Buddhists don't like attachments, you see.
Is that so?
I'm joking. Okay.
What you don't know is Sunil's inbox is Lokutara.
Oh yeah, I found it. I found it. Okay. Now I have to download it. Open. Yeah. Okay, give me a sec.
Couple of days ago, I went to the New York.
Yeah, sorry?
I went to meet the Bhikkhu Bodhi Hamdru. You see?
Oh.
Bhikkhu Bodhi and me.
When did you do that?
New York, Buddhist Vihara. Bhikkhu Bodhi Hamdru. I meet him.
You're going to meet?
New York, Buddhist Vihara.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
Okay.
This is. Can you see? Can everybody see it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ekaya no hayang bhikkhave maggo satanang visodia soka paridavana samatikamaya dukkha domanassanang attagamaya nyayasa adigamaya nibbana sachikiriyaya yaridang chattaro satipatthana katame chattaro ida bhikkhave bhikkhu kaye kaya nupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhijado manasam vedanaso vedananupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhijado manasam chitte chittanupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhijado manasam dhamme sudhammanupassi viharati atapi sampajano satima vineya loke abhijado manasam. So that's the Pali, and now the English. So the translation. So this is the direct way. So Ayang is this, and then Ikaya no Mago is the direct path or direct way. And Bhikkhave, of course, to the bhikkhus. But I wonder whether you could also translate it as practitioners instead of bhikkhus. And then Satanang Visuddhya Soka Paryadavanang. So this is for the purification of beings, to the overcoming of grief and lamentation. The soka is grief, and paridavanang is overcoming, and samatikamaya is a lamentation, and also to the disappearance of dukkha and domanasana. Dukkha is suffering, and domanasana is distress. And to the attainment of the right lifestyle, or the right, right lifestyle, and namely the four satipathanas of so what's sometimes translated as the foundations of mindfulness, but maybe it's better not to translate it or see them as the fields to where the mindfulness is directed. Katame chattaro, so which four? Those are bhikkhus or Herin bhikkhus. The bhikkhu is concentrating and is concerning the body, is dwelling on the body, concerning the body. And he does this. Atapi is energetic. Sampajano is fully aware. Satima is mindful. And in that way that leaving grief, leaving craving and sorrow, or you could say aversion in a sense, for the world behind. And in the same way, he's approaching Vedanas, so the feelings, so the Vedanasu Vedananupasi. And then below that is Chitte Shittanupasi. Also in the same way, he's approaching the mind. And at the end, also the Dhamma, the Dhamme Dhammesu Dhammanupasi. So he's approaching the mind. He dwells on the mind, energetic, fully aware, mindful, and leaving the craving and the aversion for worldly things behind. So that this is what the Satipatthana Sutta more or less starts with, and then later on, of course, he sort of goes into first in the Kaya as a Satipatthana, and then as a Vedana and a Chitta, and then the Dhamma as a Satipatthana. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Welcome.
That is very amazing. Well done, Patamitta.
Thank you.
Ekaya noyam bhikkhave maggo Maha Satipatthana Suttaraya.
I couldn't really understand that.
Well done. That is true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good,
Okay.
Mitra. And by selecting or choosing a most important and productive and useful sutta through which the audience could be drawn attention, the key or the core part of the what Buddha said. And in that context, I pass my humble gratitude upon your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Excellent. Any more feedback?
The presentation of it was amazing and memorable. I hear like this version of like singing suttas, and I really enjoyed.
Yes. It was
I'm pretty sure that Artamita's chanting is the best of all this. I mean, our students, as students, because obviously Venerable Bhante, that's different. But
we can definitely take him to be an ordained monk. Yeah.
Yeah, because you spoke at first that we all have to learn how to chant, but then it turned out that Artamita is already a master, so we all got a bit spooked, but at least listening to him, it's really nice.
Yeah, I agree as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you taken the vows, the ordination?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Okay, fantastic.
I like your rhythm. Ekaya no ayang bhikkhave maggo sattanang visuddhiya.
Well remembered.
Paridhavanang samadikkamaya.
Yeah.
Right?
So what I do is because I give some the short sort of syllables half the time of the longer ones, and then and every now and then I make 2 notes on the longer ones, so that then it gets a bit of variation.
If I'm allowed to give some additional ideas now, because I am with my passion is Indian classical music and folk music. Now, your recitation is more close to the Western harmonic system, while our traditional bhikkhus and we recite melodiously. Actually, this is like that when, according to our Theravada bhikkhu and we recite as through one track, that means it interplays with only 2-3 vowels musically, tones. But when you recite, it makes something different. That this reflects that how the same sutras differently culturally communicated. And this is because my passion is music, that I got something different and different connotations while you are reciting. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm growing up in a different culture. That's in a way.
No, that's good. Excellent, actually.
Yeah, no, I agree with Manoj's comment. It's really a unique chanting. And then also it is focusing on the meaning more than the sound. Am I right, Manoj? It's kind of, there's a bit more focus on the word meaning rather than
One more thing, one small thing now. Actually, it's a world famous musicologist, musician, Professor Ratan Jankar, who was nearly 1935. He was the key professor in the Bhakhande Indian Classical University, music. He came to Sri Lanka to classify the vocalists and announcers in Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporations. While his visit, he was allowed to listen Pirit chanting and folk music. So he compares our folk music, Sri Lankan and Pirit chanting, and Indian music and Western music. He gave a nice conclusion that this, because Pirit chanting and folk music is more close to the Western harmonic recitation and the singing ways, more than the Indian classical melodious way. Actually, this is very important. Actually, communication is key to before getting to the meaning, I think. Right?
Fantastic. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, folks. Yeah, no, I mean, your chanting is impeccable, and you've beaten all of us in chanting. So, well done.
I think it's more approachable for like Western people. I think if they would be get to know the sutta in like this way, maybe it would be more like appealing.
Well, yeah, I think Ardhamitra should record some chantings and put them on the YouTube.
Yeah.
So that people can really, that would be really a good contribution. And read them in a slow pace so that people can really admire and enjoy it. Really good. So let's get to the meaning. Ekaya no, most of the time this is being translated as direct path. Now, the work of Analayo Bhikkhu, he writes a whole chapter on this word, ekayano. A lot of people say it is direct path, kind of implying there is an indirect path as well. But I think it is a wrong translation. Eka ayana is there is only path. I think it is Ekayana means this is the only path. So, when you say direct path, that, it also implies there are other paths which get to the same destination. But this is actually uniquely, and there are a lot of, grammatical arguments and other things to support that. So, I think I prefer only path to direct path. Yeah. Ekano ambikave maggo sattanam visuddhya soga paridedan samatikkamaya dukkha domanasana attagama. And then there is a dukkha domanassa. Dukkha and domanassa. Now those are actually two different, words. Dukkha is like physical dukkha. Domanassa is mental, psychological. Yeah, dukkha domanasana attagamai. Nyayasa Adhigamaya, Nibbanasa Sachikiriyaya, Yadidan Chattaro Satipatthana. Idha, again, this is another unique place. Now, following from Julia's, actually very insightful, and I think these are the areas which we miss in the translation. Idha means in this discipline, that in this path, because the mindfulness can be actually either lokiya or lokuttara. And here the Buddha is talking about in the lokuttara sense. So, and this is why this sutta is uniquely, place, because a lot of people, I think, don't understand this sutta at all. I mean, in my view, if you unpack these four foundations of mindfulness sutta, Satipatthana sutta, you end up, and the Buddha actually promises at the end of the sutta, if you practice it this way with the right understanding, there is no way that you can stop even yourself attaining the full enlightenment, complete enlightenment, and failing which, he says 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, and then he brings it down to 7 days. If you practice it in 7 days, in the way I discuss it, in the way I expound it, and then one of the two results should be expected, and he says either full enlightenment or at least anagamita, non-returner. So one of the glitches, again, people not understanding the words like idha. A whole commentary can be written on the word idha. Yeah.
Question.
Sorry. Yeah. Please. Yeah.
About the only one path thing.
Yeah.
But before, when I talked to you after the class, I thought you said that the Buddha gave many different practices depending on the people. But if there's only one path, how does it work?
Good question. Brilliant question. Actually, no. People are different, and also the techniques given are different, but they all actually, the enlightenment is kind of one enlightenment. The end result is one. So here the focus is not actually how you practice it, but practicing whichever practice you get into this right mindfulness. So the right mindfulness is one unique, and this is also supported by the Mahachattarīsaka Sutta, where the Buddha says right mindfulness is of two types, either worldly or lokiya or lokuttara. So I take your point that there are people actually do different practices. So in the Ketagiri Sutta, there are 7 different access points, paths, but but the achievement, establishing mindfulness in the lokuttara level it's not variable to person. Yeah. Do you get my point? So basically, do you?
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. So this is why the Buddha say ekayano. Even grammatically and through meaning, ekayano means this is the only path. That means mindfulness. And what mindfulness? the right mindfulness. And how do you establish the right mindfulness? This way. This is why the words like idha bhikkhave, because a lot of people establish mindfulness, but what is the mindfulness is about? That mindfulness is about the lokya, about the world. You know, I am here now. Now that's a worldly mindfulness. Yeah. So the Buddhist mindfulness, on the other hand, is the one which actually transcends the world, goes beyond the world. So now that sati has a very special meaning. Yeah. Yeah. So and I think this is why in the sutta, when you get into the details, you know, it becomes really clear that this is the only path, that, you know, there is no two-way about it. But the path, we have to take it very carefully. Path doesn't mean doing only one thing, you know, doing many things, but you get into the same realization. And here, this is the gist of that realization, establishing the right mindfulness. Yeah. Does that make sense? No?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, so if you read Analayo Bhikkhu, Analayo, I mean, he's a marathon writer again. I mean, he has like 3 volumes written, and his PhD is on Satipatthana Sutta. He spends chapters and chapters. Like, this is a German monk called Analayo. Yeah.
Yeah, I know him. I was just looking at his book before.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, but I think there are certain points like idha and the idha bhikkhave. The reason why the Buddha is using the idha bhikkhave means in this discipline, in this dispensation, in this Dhamma and the discipline, which really means something unique. Yeah. Okay. I think there's a lot more to talk about the Satipatthana, but I think we run out of time today. But well done, Arthamitra. You are also winning the brownie point. So, but I think I mean, I wish we have more time to discuss Satipatthana. So we'll have a lot more time next in the next course. Yeah. Okay, Mikhal.
I have one question, but it's not entirely related to Satipatthana, but I wanted to ask you about the reference to some sutta where Buddha discusses the Lokiya and Lokuttara.
Yeah.
So because
yeah.
I wanted to mention a sutta where he talks about.
Oh, right. Yeah. It is called. It's in the middle length discourses. It is called Maha Chattarisaka. Chattarisaka Sutta. I think it's the last volume, volume 3 of the middle length, Maha Chattarisaka Sutta, which is a profound sutta where, you know, Buddha talks about the, you know, right view is of 2 types, worldly and supramundane. Right, you know, right intention, right, you know, right speech, right, you know, blah, blah, everything. So Eightfold Noble Path has a worldly, you know, aspect, worldly side, and also supramundane. Yeah. Which is okay. Yeah.
I was always trying, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because there's no mention of that when people discuss Nagarjuna's 2 truths. No one ever mentioned in this distinction. I was wondering to what degree, I mean, he thought of that distinction when he was establishing them. But I don't know. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, Nagarjuna is a sharp cookie. I mean, he's always on the Lokuttara side, and he's not. I mean, I think Nagarjuna, his reference is, Paticcasamuppada. I mean, on the Lokuttara, and that's why Nagarjuna, it's not easy to understand, and
I'm working on it 3 days. I'm stuck trying to understand dependent origination, it's really difficult. And translations, honestly, I'm really disappointed with some translations, because I'm trying to compare them and they seem to say completely different things, and I'm like what? How am I to understand it? And the worst thing is that the Western scholars who translate it have some really their own views about it. And it's so much distorts the meaning, because it's really, that's why I really want to learn some languages, because
absolutely,
without that it's really difficult to understand anything.
And yesterday there was a really nice conversation. I like Keith had a really amazing story about this lady. Could you really share that, because I think that's a really important one. Like could you tell that story for 1 minute, please?
Yeah, no problem. Just before the lockdown, the first lockdown, in the November before, we were on retreat, and November's not a nice weather, it's damp, horrible, and our retreats are usually in the middle of nowhere with no mobile signal, that sort of thing, just on purpose. And at the end of it, one Sunday afternoon, late Sunday afternoon, I'm stood on the railway station in Derbyshire called Hope. That's the genuine name of the station, Hope. And you hope a train will stop. And it's in such an out-of-the-way place that the train, when it comes, is more like a standard bus, but on metal wheels that runs on the track, Anyway, there was a lady, an elderly lady, got off the train on the other side and came over to our side, and she'd overshot her station by about 2 or 3 stops. And she's one of these elderly ladies who's a very kind, jolly person who'll chat and talk to anybody. And before you know it, she's been chatting to you, and she will have discovered your mother's maiden name by the time she's finished talking to you, very nicely, You can't hold back. A super interrogator. Anyway, I then got, well, what are you doing here? And, well, I've just been on a Buddhist retreat. Buddhism? What do you want to do that for? And so, just as the train comes, we get on the train and we sit opposite one another, as she has to retrace about 3 stops. And she explains to me a truly deep spiritual experience that she's had. And she's discovered Jesus. She's had a deep Christian experience. And she was what I would call a born-again Christian. And not part of, there is a tradition called born-again Christians, right? She was unique. It was her own experience. And she said, I can't explain it to any of my friends. They think I'm crazy. And so, in my good old Zen tradition, I engage her eye to eye. And I said, if you could explain it, I would not believe you. And she shot back and her eyes rolled like a fruit machine. She said, you're right. And her stop came and she had to bail off. She says, I'll remember you. Now the point is, for us, and I find this in my Zen group, right, is this Lokuttara business, combined with chitta, right? We usually take it in the West as a translation for mind, and then that's usually taken as a rational, discriminating head mind. And that's it. But, of course, chitta has like this intuitive, knowing wisdom mind. And the two, for us scientists, are plotted on XY axes, and one doesn't project onto the other axis. And so that was the point of the story. And you know, once she realized that, so she'd had the experience, and then when she realized that she couldn't explain, and that was fine, whoa, she was off. That's it.
Good, yeah, good story.
Yeah, I mean, I think the gist of it is like, now I think this ineffability, there's an English word called ineffable. You know, if you cannot articulate, and I think there are also worldly stuff, you know, like love. You know, how could you describe love? I mean, you know, if you tell somebody I love you, I mean, it's just you don't know what he means or she means. So, and I think it could be both at the worldly level and even in the, you know, in the lokuttara level, it gets even worse. You know, or better. I don't know what to use, but you know, it is and that ineffability, you know, and that is the nirvana. The Buddha says, if you can, you know, all what he you know, he uses it in negative terms. And a lot of people, I mean, the Western scholars thought, you know, if it is such a negative thing, you know, why would we seek and search for it anyway? So and I think that has some resonance both in the worldly level and also lokuttara level. Yeah.
She had one final parting shot.
What is it?
Isn't it strange that we should meet on this occasion?
I like people's, you know, that kind of robust, you know, sharing of experience, you know. It's funny, very interesting. Anyway, folks, wonderful. And thank you for those who did lovely presentations, chanting, recitations. And I think part of this is also about that, the recitation, chanting, etc. So well done. And we will have in the final session some more insightful ones, I'm sure. So any last questions or comments?
Thank you for everybody. This may well be my last one. I will try to tune in next week, but I won't be at home. I'll be on a mobile phone somewhere, and I may not actually make the connection. But nice to meet you all, and best wishes to everyone.
Thank you. Yeah. It's also it's definitely my last meeting, because next week I'm on the bicycle touring. I'd like to thank you all. I very much enjoyed it, and particularly, of course, I'd like to thank Sunil for his well, enjoyable and light-hearted and yet very deep-going explanations of the suttas. And I hope to see you all at some point again.
Yeah, on your bike, mate. No way. Well, no, it's lovely having you. You both, Keith and Atamitra, and I think this you know, I think it's going to be a really unique opportunity for investigating more depth in sutras, and I think it is that's the fascinating part. You know, rather than just glossing over these words and I think looking deep into the meaning, it's a unique thing to do, isn't it? You know, I mean, if you don't do it ourselves, you know, who will? And thank you everybody. Yeah, so
I want to ask, do we have Google Drive?
Sorry?
Oh, I don't know, because Ina asked me to put it on Google Drive, and then
yes, please. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have our Google Drive. I just have the document. you sent like the notes.
Oh, no, I have shared, yeah.
Maybe on WhatsApp I can send them.
Yes, we could definitely share that again with you. I mean, it may not have been updated, the Google Drive, but please, there is the Buddha in the Pali canon is on Google Drive. Has anybody else seen it at all?
Oh yes, but I don't think
Yes,
we
yes.
can have presentation to it because it's a
Yeah.
different format. So
Oh,
here's a PowerPoint.
I don't know whether you need. I think you can also add your presentation to it. Please do, because it'd be really useful. And mind you, we have a WhatsApp group, and then we hope to continue our conversation.
Well, may I ask something? I haven't got a mobile phone, so I can't participate. So I would like to ask if is it possible to share an email address?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know if people want to, but they don't have to. But
Yeah.
maybe
No. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. There is also an group email that one can create, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, definitely. But you have Google Drive access, don't you? Ne?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my own Google Drive, but there is no like Google Drive for a group, like for a Pali course.
No. If you, I shared a document with you, which means you can access to that and then you can actually install documents attached to it.
Yeah, I don't think this is the case. You just invited us to this document, Word document.
Oh,
but you didn't
okay.
invite us to your drive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, let me see. There may be an admin, but I think in the Google Drive, the whole idea is for people to be able to work concurrently, isn't it? I'll check on that. I
think Lucien, he isn't here now, but Lucien,
yeah,
knows everything about that.
I think Lucian, yeah, he knows a lot about it, and I'll get that to. If would you mind? I think your presentation is brilliant. So would you mind emailing it to everybody? So we can and don't send it to Michael. He's going to copy you. Okay.
No, it's too late. She already gave me the reference to the suit, so I'm going to.
I like that. I like that. He said it's too late. Okay, excellent. So great to see you, folks. See you next week.
May I ask something?
Oh, please. Yeah.
About the email addresses. Maybe you could send for next week, not the email addresses in the group, but all the how do you say it, the personal addresses. If people agree with that.
Oh,
maybe
brilliant.
There are people who don't want to. I don't know.
Okay. So, well, I mean, I up to now I have been kind of sending the links to. I think I have not shared your email addresses with others. So, if you don't mind, it will not go beyond this group. I will share each other's. I will send a common email out to everybody so that everybody has everybody else's email, if that's okay. Yeah, any objections, drop me an email. Okay.
And then I will send it because I don't have anybody's email.
Or you don't have everybody?
No, I
Anyways,
have only, I get the message personally that you
yeah,
Zoom link.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I will. I mean, unless otherwise you tell me, I will share one email with everybody's email address. So if you have any objection, please drop me an email. Say, please don't share my email. Yeah. All right. Okay, folks, and Bhante, it's time for a short blessing. Yeah.
All welcome to Dhamma.
Yeah.
Blessings of the Buddha. Namami Buddhang Gunasagaranta. I make a wish today. Everyone. Buddho tilok sarano karunaya pungno pungno chandamamalang sakalam hi satte santosakarinudang vatasokatapang tang tejasa bhavato te jaya mangalani. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Bhante. It's lovely chanting. Yeah. So I hope you enjoy the rest of the full moon day at is it in your monastery? Yeah.
Yeah, some devotee came offering the beverages.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah. So please feel free to leave. Yeah. So if you have to. And see you at the Mitra soon.
Bye-bye.
Again. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you. See you.
See you next week.